How's it going, YouTube? It's been a while since I've uploaded to this channel, I know. I don't know if that's going to change how often I'm going to be uploading here. I just wanted to make this video because I feel like I have to make this video. For all intents and purposes, if you haven't heard, we lost perhaps one of the greatest YouTubers that we've had since before I even really started watching any sort of YouTube. And that's Cimo. I'm not going to sit here and say I knew him like MBT or John or, any of these other people, but I mean, I had my own brushes with him, from, obviously, some of you know that I know John decently well, and from there, I've had a few interactions with Cimo. I also remember ran into Cimo IRL at the 2018 Nationals when I played there. No, he was truly one of a kind and just a kind person in general. I remember when I met him IRL there, my beard was much shorter then, but I still had that red beard, and he, I said hello because obviously, I think just about everybody out there that's gonna see this video probably could say that they're a fan of Cimo's. And I said hello. He turned and looked at me and said, "Hey, we're related by beard." That's I think I also got a map signed by him, but he was genuinely a nice person. Both obviously in his videos, you watch his videos, that's genuinely how he is. He's not any different in person than he is on camera. It's always hard to lose anyone. I mean, I'm not saying that I was even as close to him as other people, but, dealing with loss is not something that we're really wired to deal with very easily. And, when it's someone that you have looked up to in the Yu-Gi-Oh world who, casts possibly one of the largest shadows over this entire community, I'm, you can argue, you can argue size all you want, but, Cimo's shadow loomed very large over this community. And I don't think there's a single person out there who would have a single negative thing to say about Cimo. He was, the word I keep coming back to is genuine. He was an influence to everybody, and I don't know what's going to actually happen as far as any of that goes. Obviously, it's going to be for someone that I did not know that well, this has hit me harder than I thought it would, because I don't know. I'm not saying that I don't even know what I'm saying right now. This is completely not scripted. I just wanted to say this. If I also want to say, you don't know when things are going to happen. Make sure you talk to the people that you care about, because you don't know when that day is, when that day that you no longer can talk to them. You don't know what might happen, and I know especially for his family and friends, this is not going to be an easy time. I've lost people much closer to me than Cimo was. I mean, even my own father, I lost him over a decade ago now. These things, these people that we lose, obviously they leave holes in our lives, and I know for some people that's, going to be no more progression series, no more crossovers with CGB or Raren or Voxy or the Professor. That there's so many things that he did that touched our lives that I know there's thousands of us, if not millions of us, that are going to have at least a small hole in our if nothing else in our watching schedule, because now we have no new content coming out from him. I mean, I'm not saying that's the only thing he was good for. Obviously a fantastic person, but I'm rambling. I this is I I remember I only saw this a few hours ago, and I feel like I've been in shock ever since. Like, someone dropped like an anvil on me. Like, I think the hardest part about it was he had been so optimistic that he was getting better, and next thing you know, he's just gone. I hope wherever you are, Cimo, that you always have value, and that you always are top decking well. And I know you've ended your turn here on Earth, but I think the only appropriate thing I have to say at this point is you will be missed by a lot of people. Normally I sign off on these videos with a slogan, using my own name, but I think appropriately, I think the only way to end this is united we stand, in Cimo we trust.